Good morning, Governor Livingston. Welcome to In the Zone, presented by GL Sports Zone and GLHS TV. We're your hosts, Ryan Tarabokia, Charles Gilpin, Jonathan Schmidt. Today we got a special episode going on, We're going to have some guests. I'm not going to give away anything. Too early, Can't give away all your best cards. We're going to start off. Mr. Charlie Gilpin here is going to talk about a recent success for volleyball against Cranford. Maybe some other stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, so GL Volleyball beat Cranford 2-0.
Electric.
A lot of fun. Haley Motz, Annabelle Kuzman, Eva Sotosanti, and Abby Kim each had 4 kills apiece. They're really good game. Eva Sotosanti kind of started off a little rough and kind of turned it back pretty good in the third or second
Way to
set. She did really good. Kind of they're kind of out of whack. Cranford got a little bit of a lead in the first set.
The nerves. Listen, full house. Eva Sotosanti, as you said, she's a sophomore. The nervousness is definitely might get to you, but there's a lot of room for error in volleyball.
You could definitely tell the nerves were a big factor in the beginning. It was just like a completely different team, but they settled down.
Then the star libero, Katie Brooks, had 12 digs.
Come on.
Which is pretty standard for her.
Yeah,
it's expected at this point.
Yeah, it's just a regular. Come on.
And then also another senior, Isabel Garay, had 8 assists. She also had a really good game.
All-time assist leader. Come on.
Yeah, so she's just really just stat padding at this point.
Walk in the park.
Yeah. And then Abby Kim, the freshman, had 16 service points, which in comparison, she usually averages between 2 and 6.
Wow.
Talk about it.
She's a freshman chant was pretty electric.
Oh my God!
I think we got a lot of laughs out of that.
And she scored instantly. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good.
Way to step up. Like you said, the nerves were getting to a lot of players, but not to her. She was dialed.
Yeah, she's ready to play every game.
Like to dial in. Yeah, sure. Thank you. It was a great game. And now it's leading.
You were there?
I was there.
Were you?
Oh yeah, of course I was there.
I was obviously
I got there at
We were all there together. Why are we asking each other?
What is this?
It was like last Thursday. You can't remember?
Probably not.
CTE.
But yeah, it was a great game. I enjoyed it. Cranford, they got some really good players on the team. They had their center back? No, it's soccer.
Yeah.
What's the center? Just center.
I forget. The one girl, she had the arm sleeves on. She was pretty good.
She could hit the ball really good.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to be honest, though.
It was like a fastball.
Cranford's offense just looked kind of abysmal. Yeah. After we started to click, they had a decent run in the second set, but like you said, they do have a talented team, and they've shown us, they've taken us to 3 sets before, but honestly, kind of abysmal, like a little lousy.
When Cranford's firing on all cylinders, they're pretty good.
Yeah, but
that was senior night. Like that one right down to the wire, right?
Yeah, they definitely.
I think
they started off once again. They started off well.
They won the first set.
Well, I know nerves played a huge factor into the first set the other day, but honestly, Cranford looked good too. Like they were having some great returns. They were capitalizing on our mistakes. There was a lot of diving efforts too, good saves. A
lot of heart.
Yeah, multiple times I just stood up thinking we scored, and I think Johnny had to pull me down and yank me back into my seat because I realized the ball was getting returned. And I was like, shoot!
I jumped on the court and was like, oh wait, never mind. They are still alive. They were fighting, but a little lackluster later once we started to come to a close. Other than that last point, which was a little stressful.
Yeah, I think we 5 times.
Yeah, I think we jinxed it.
Yeah,
we jinxed it when we stood up.
The warm the buses chant is just dangerous.
That was a serious game. I've never seen a ref in volleyball bring out his little rope and measure each square.
And you notice the difference. The people holding the flag were refs.
That was last game.
It definitely got
2 games ago they had that.
They did
all the NJSAA games.
Yeah, they got the official.
The state
guys.
games.
They don't have the JV players doing it.
It's so weird how they just let JV players or somebody else.
Yeah, but I guess there's.
I guess the bias weighs itself anyway.
Yeah, because they flip.
They flip anyway. Yeah.
So, all right. So now, Mr. Jonathan Schmidt's got a little preview for this huge game we have today.
I think everybody knows by now. It's the talk around school. Obviously, with the team thriving. I have it in my bag over there.
Where's the black
envelope?
I got a shirt.
Yeah, you don't have black.
I got a shirt under.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I got the shirt under. We're good.
I got eye black in my backpack over there.
I'll put on some eye black.
I am ready.
Doing an Abercrombie and Fitch commercial? Or just like this?
Well,
All right.
it's a talk around school. Everybody's fired up to be in the student section. The players are fired up. Honestly, I've never seen a group of players so fired up and so
They're
high. They are all wearing black. Like, they're not even gonna like be in the section with us, but they're still wearing black. Like, that's pretty impressive.
That's high.
We're gonna be watching them.
Yeah, we haven't.
Eye black out now. Let's put it on now.
I don't know, man.
Isn't the whole point of eye black though for the sun?
Maybe in the 1700s, sure, but
Yeah, maybe. Now it's like,
that's why most people use
yeah, I'm making it
eye black.
stylish, you know.
Well, football players have a helmet on. I don't think they're.
It's the reflection.
Yeah. The eye black, it's for
It's
the
all for
sun,
a
so
look.
the sun.
It's all for look. Come on, then why do they have one little sliver?
Because that's where the reflects into your eyes.
The sliver's the most basic.
What about the guys who smear it across their
that's for looks. That's like drip points, like
drip points?
you know, like
Sometimes you
when
just
they
look
got the
stupid,
cross. Yeah, like the cross, or like I don't know, like the warrior. Like that's
Well, you know you're not allowed to use the cross.
Really?
Religious.
It's religious, yeah.
You can't do that. Wow.
I remember football. They'd always
Tebow,
say
they outlawed
only
the-
2 lines.
I mean,
No.
they're putting
Tim
rules
Tebow
in
was
place,
putting
but
Bible verses on his.
What does he have, a pen?
No.
Like
They would put the
Like an eye black
They
pen?
put the eye black strips, and then he would write in the Bible.
Like
A lot of
stencil?
players did it.
Like stencil?
wow, I didn't even know.
You
that.
could stencil that.
No, it's like a.
That would be
tape.
pretty cool.
It's like
Stencil eye
tape.
black.
Reggie Bush did it. Yeah, it was a common thing. They don't allow it though.
That's interesting.
Forgot about
Well,
it.
yeah, there's like the rules, like baseball, you can't wear like sunglasses on your hat. You
What?
have to have them on. Like, yeah, there's like a bunch of rules, like no jewelry. It's like one of those things.
No, baseball there's jewelry.
Now
Every
there is.
sport there's jewelry.
No, for high school baseball.
Basketball, you can't have jewelry.
NBA?
Yeah. No, because I mean that
bro.
fly.
Yeah.
You can rip that.
All right.
Whoa, I was touching my mic.
We're getting way off topic.
Well, we got
some time.
Back to
but,
volleyball.
yeah.
But back to this game, because this is the main purpose.
Yeah, this is the main event.
Like I said before, I'm fired up. A lot of kids seem fired up. Ticket sales went out. I don't even know, 5 minutes it took, and it was like that. There were so many kids texting me like, I didn't get a ticket. How do I get a ticket? And that's, I don't know. I just said, I don't know. We just got to wait. And luckily, we got some more tickets because the Wall team didn't purchase all the tickets. So we should have a bigger student section. But I'm fired up for this game. You know, we're 16-7. We're the 1 seed. We're coming into this. Wall's 18-5. I mean, we managed to get the 1 seed, having more power points. And that, honestly, the power points, it just shows like how big the power points could be, because now we're playing at home in front of our own crowd, our own court. And I think that could be a big thing for us today.
How do the PowerPoints work?
I think it goes off of,
Like rank?
I think so like us being a Group 2 school, if we beat like a Group 4 school, you get like
More
a
points?
certain amount of power points, and it's like the amount of like points you score and the differential like is added somehow. I don't know how it's. I think it's different for every sport, but
Makes sense.
it's definitely. I don't know. PowerPoints is a huge thing today, I think.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't agree more. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the game.
Some celebrations are gonna be very important. I mean, come on,
I'm getting there at 2:45.
I'm already there.
I don't think I'm leaving the school. I may run home quickly just to like.
You live
you
like
live
a
right
block
there.
away.
I know I do, but like I may just quickly throw on like a pair of shorts quickly, because I don't like. I think if I wear these sweatpants, I'll be drenched in sweat by the end of the game.
I mean, if you bring the energy, you should be drenched in sweat regardless.
I mean, you gotta minimize it.
The Congo line, you know?
Congo line. I'm ready for the Congo line. That was so much fun. All right, are we ready?
I mean, not quite yet.
Not quite yet, but
I'm gonna go. Give me
all
a
right.
second.
All right, well, let's talk about a GL signing. Yesterday, Katie Brooks signed her letter of intent to Adelphi University, where she plans to study exercise science and possibly pursue a career as a physical therapist.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's a great player. We're gonna see her here in about a minute or two once they get all mic'd up. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. I'll give it away now. You know, won't hold on to it for too long. But yeah, we got an interview today with, as you said, Adelphi commit Katie Brooks and head coach Mr. Hess. You know, two the most impactful people. I mean, the head coach running the show, and then we got
like the Bill Belichick of volleyball in here.
Yeah, and then you got Katie. I mean,
Tom Brady.
connection is there. How's it going, Mr. Hess?
I'm doing well. Am I coming through?
Top button hit.
Top button.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
You're all good.
We're all good.
All right. I mean, yeah. We'll wait for Katie to get over here in a Mets jersey.
And this
Great. Great decision.
Terrible way to start it off.
Yeah.
No, awesome way to start it off. Repping the best team in New York. I mean,
I don't know. DeGrom to the Rangers, just a rumor.
I'm a Red Sox fan, so
Oh, geez.
God.
I mean, probably
Six feet, please.
Yeah, probably more pro Mets than pro Yankees. And there she is, Katie Brooks. I mean,
Welcome to In the Zone.
yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You guys are in the zone. I mean, as you can see, we were talking about before the eye black.
Beyond
The eye
lines.
black.
Yeah.
I had Bella on my forehead, but it kind of raced off at this point.
All right, so getting right into the interview, this is a question for Katie. I mean, are you nervous? I know this is a super straightforward question, but I feel like you can get a pretty good answer here. I mean,
Well, if I'm being quite honest, I'm more excited than nervous. This is obviously a high stakes game, but I know we can do it. I think everybody just has to show up and do their job, and I know that we definitely are going to be able to win today. And so I think honestly the nerves are more coming from the excitement around the game, and it's not more like nervousness to play. It's just like excitement.
and I'll just add, I heard a thing from a sports psychologist a few months ago that physically excitement and nervousness is the exact same physical reactions. Your heart rate goes up, you get adrenaline. So it really doesn't matter if you're excited or nervous. You're ready to go.
yeah. I mean, for you, Mr. Hessa, how do you try to reel in that excitement and keep the players confident, but at the same time not overly confident? You are a 1 seed. You're one of the best teams right now. I mean,
I worried about being overconfident earlier this season, and we did struggle to put away a few teams that we shouldn't have struggled with. But I feel like we've had the experience now of playing in front of huge crowds. Yes, tonight's crowd will be bigger than we've ever had, but I don't think it really matters if there's 100 students or 50 students. Whenever you got a lot of students making a lot of noise, we've been there. We've had that excitement. We've had really close games. So I think the team will be able to just treat this, not like any other game, but like any of these other big games we've had recently.
yeah. I mean, Katie, how does that atmosphere affect you as a player? I mean, how do you're a vocal leader on the team. How do you make sure the atmosphere, you could see some underclassmen getting affected by by the energy and the pressure of it, but obviously settling down. Mm-hmm. How do you try to, personally, how do you deal with the atmosphere, and how do you help your teammates deal with that atmosphere?
I zone in. I mean,
In the zone.
yeah. I told the girls even yesterday, we knew we had a big crowd, but yesterday we were just sold out. And I told them, at the end of the day, we have a job to get done. Mm-hmm. We have a game to win. They can be proud of us after with the outcome. Mm-hmm. But right now, we have a job to do, a game to play, and we know we can execute it. So it's honestly, at that point, believing more in yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes our girls get in their own head, but at the end of the day, volleyball's a game of who makes 25 mistakes first. 25.
Yeah.
1/25 of the points should not be getting in your head. You just got to shake it off and get the next one.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, that's a great
That
point.
was wow.
Yeah.
That's like great leadership right there.
Yeah, I mean, as
Goosebumps.
not much more you can ask for an answer.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Hess, I do have a question. I mean, it's your first year as head coach, and I mean, clearly this, from what Katie is saying, the team is all in. They're buying into the atmosphere, the energy, and everything. How do you do that as a first-year coach in a young GL sports program? How do you get the players to, buy in a sense?
Well, I know we're the youngest GL sports program, but I don't think we feel like we're a young sports program. No. I mean, this is our 9th year, I think. It might be our 10th.
8.
8th? 8, okay. So, I mean, but either way, that's long before they got here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it going to feel any different 20 years from now? I mean, I feel like either way, this program's been around a while, and we've been getting better every year. I mean, this is my 6th year in the program, and you just see us get on bigger stages year after year after year. So, I mean, Katie and Bella and some others were there last year when we made it to the finals. That was a huge step. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it matters that we're the youngest sports program. And it's not like I'm coaching the team by myself at all. We've got great assistants. We have as many assistants as a lot of college teams out there.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of people around. A lot of these girls play all year. So it's not like we started from ground zero and had to teach them everything. They came in here just needing to learn to play together and work on details.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other big thing we came in this year is, this was a new league. We'd never played at this level before. That was our biggest challenge. Other years, we've had a schedule with a couple of big games and then lots of games that we could, not sleepwalk through, but, it was just totally different. Yeah. This year, it was just tough game after tough game after tough game. And that's what's our real advantage, I think, going into tonight.
Definitely.
Not that we know the schools that well that Wall is playing, but they're definitely not playing against the kind of teams that we're playing against.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, Katie, you've been on the varsity team for the longest out of anyone there. How did that league change affect you and maybe some of the other people who have been on varsity? How did that competition level affect you?
Every day, you just have to keep going. Mm-hmm. You, like Mr. Hess said, you can't even think of a team as easy anymore.
Yeah.
And you have to be playing your full potential every single time. I mean, we always thought Westfield was going to blow us out, to be quite honest. But it only takes your mentality to change that. And we were lucky enough to take off a set and easily play the best volleyball we've played all year. And we have that in us every single day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I got a question for Mr. Hess. So now that the schedule has, the competition's increased more from game to game, does that change the way you go into planning for different games? Does it, resting players or anything, does it change much in volleyball?
I don't think it changes that much. It's not like football or something where people are going to get exhausted and worn out. We could play every day in terms of physically if we had to. Our practices, I think they burn more calories and get banged up more than in a game. So I think it's harder to get everybody involved when you're playing one tough opponent after another because they can only use 6 at a time. So that's one thing that I do occasionally wish we had a few more easier games because you need everybody pulling their full weight, giving 100% in every single practice, and you can't get everybody on the floor at the same time. And I think it's nice occasionally to have that take an emotional break kind of game. It's tough to get up mentally for every single game, but they've stepped up the challenge this year and we've done it. Because even our quote easier games, we played some schools like Delaware Valley and Academy of St. Elizabeth. Those schools are winning their conferences and they're still playing in their Group 1 tournaments. So those were not easy opponents.
Definitely. And Mr. Hess, so you touched on, practice and the importance of the intensity of your practices. But, the days leading up to such a big game, how do you try to adjust practice to make sure everyone knows what they have to do, knows all their jobs, but at the same time, like Jonathan said, trying to keep everyone fresh but making sure everyone knows that there's still that intensity, not trying to step off the gas in a sense.
Well, again, we have a veteran team.
Yeah.
We only have one freshman this year on the team. We only have 4 seniors, but they're mostly juniors and seniors. So I don't think they need a lot of that, and the captains certainly do that. In a 2-hour practice, we're not going full gas from beginning to end. We do have certain activities that are easier than others. So, you couldn't go full gas for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we work hard, and, the games, you got to work hard every single point.
Definitely. And Katie, what do you like to work on in practice before this game? What do you try to focus on? You as a libero, I hope I said that right, you got a lot of different roles. You got a lot of stuff you have to do. You got to move around a lot. What do you like to do to make sure you're on your A game?
To be quite honest, focus on my breathing before a game because it's easy to get wrapped up in this excitement and then completely subconsciously lose the idea of your job. Because at the end of the day, you're there to do a job. Mm-hmm. And as a team, everybody's got to do their job for us to win today. Mm-hmm. So for me at least, making sure my job is done is walking through my breath and taking each point by point, and forgetting about the last one. Even if it was really good, but on the flip side, if it was not my best either.
Definitely,
I have a question.
All right, I've had it, Charlie.
What is your pregame song? Are you listening to Led Zeppelin, Pop Smoke, or
it's a wide variety.
What's your dial-in song?
Enter Sandman.
Oh,
good one.
as a Red Sox fan? I mean, you probably,
Virginia Tech.
I mean, Mariano.
Yeah. And Mr. S, do you have a pregame song that you like to listen to?
I don't. They do the playlist.
Oh, okay.
So no, I don't have a pregame song. If I did, it would be jazz.
Jazz.
And I'm certainly not going to put that on the system for the game.
You gotta be mellow. Gotta be relaxed.
Well, this jazz can get you pumped up too. There's all kinds of.
There's some intense jazz.
Herbie Hancock. Oh yeah.
Now the biggest one, a common topic for GL commentating is pregame meal. For either of you, what's the go-to pregame meal? What do you eat
On game day.
on game day?
Game day meal.
I'm going to give a bad answer. Peanut M&Ms is my thing.
Oh, those are good. Those are good.
Those are good.
But that's your only fuel, of course. That's just a supplement.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm also not.
Well, yeah.
Don't have to deliver any athletic performance out there.
The mental game of peanut M&Ms can help you dial in. Mm-hmm. Watching a movie, you got some peanut M&Ms, you're really able to focus in.
Yep.
You gotta try peanut butter M&Ms. I think they're better in my
Are they?
opinion.
Well,
Is there a
give them
difference?
consideration.
Caramel M&Ms are good.
Peanut butter versus the peanut itself.
The peanut
The
offers.
almond ones are the best, but they're very hard to find.
There's almond M&Ms?
Almond M&Ms, yeah.
I love Hershey almonds bars. That's my favorite
Yeah,
chocolate.
those are good.
Now, Katie, come on. What
Okay.
is it? What's the go-to?
Mayo? Is there mayo?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because that isn't
there
a
is.
PED.
Yeah, we're having a PED mayonnaise scandal.
My go-to sandwich, I forget who got me onto it. It's just simply turkey provolone and mayo.
No lettuce, tomato, nothing.
No.
No
White-
veggies.
No.
Light mayo, regular mayo, extra mayo.
Hellman's.
Extra mayo.
What brand?
Hellman's.
Write that down.
I also drink coffee, but I watch my caffeine intake before games because sometimes I get so hyper that honestly, if you're too excited, it can end up hurting you. But enough so I can be in the zone.
In the zone.
AutoZone. Oh no. In the zone, AutoZone.
We didn't trademark it yet. I think we're fine. We're fine. I do think we're fine. Let's see. What else do we? Okay. So, Mr. Hess, let's touch on the more the aspect of interacting with the players and stuff. When the team has had a lot of comebacks this year. I mean, in the Cranford game, I remember the senior night, the first set, it was like 8-3 originally, and then you turn it around completely and like just dominating fashion. I mean, and also on Thursday, I mean, it was just you don't let the mistakes get on you. How do you get the team to click? Because I feel like there's a certain point, you call that timeout. Obviously, I don't know what you're saying. Maybe you don't want to give it away, but everyone just comes together and it just clicks, and they come out and it's like a new team. It's awesome to watch. I mean, especially just from a fan aspect.
Well, what Kay said earlier about the key to volleyball is forgetting your mistakes, because the points are going to come fast, and you can't be thinking about what you did a minute ago when the ball's heading at you. I think the difference between playing well and not well is that first split second after the ball is struck. Like, are you seeing and reacting immediately, or are you thinking about something else? And if you are just a split second late, that's lousy volleyball. I think the biggest thing for us as far as comeback was the Summit game. Mm-hmm. We managed to play most of the first, 2/3 of the season. Just everything was 2-0, and we had little comebacks, but we didn't really have that crazy 3-set game until the Summit game. Mm-hmm. And that just took it to the ultimate level, because we lost the first set, and then we were buried in a hole. I think it was 14-22.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's probabilistically darn near impossible to win at that point, because they only need 3 points, and we needed a ton. And just to not have a service error or anything, I mean, it's almost impossible. And we pulled it off. So once that happened, I think, this team will never count itself out. It doesn't matter how tough the stakes are.
That's when it all kind of realized that you guys had a team, Kind
We
of
do.
that moment. Yeah, it made you feel like this is the right atmosphere. I mean, that's
And we had a huge crowd there too. So I mean, if you can play under that kind of pressure, that I honestly can't make a mistake at this point. I mean, not that it will be life-threatening, but it will be game-threatening. It'll be, and there's a huge crowd watching. And if you can play under that, we can handle tonight.
I got a question for Katie. So you've obviously been on the team the longest out of everybody. Your role has kind of changed as being that young player now, and now that you're the senior leader, how does a big game change from now from back then, like your view on the game? Like now you had those older teammates earlier on, but like what is it like being that older teammate, like having the younger players look up to you more?
So when I was younger, I looked to the girls above me, Leah Dooley, Lauren Ziska. They were like the game changers. They were the ones putting it away. Tappan 2 was writing all about them. And I understood my role as a freshman was just do my own job. And to be quite honest, it's the exact same thing. Do my job. But as a senior now, I like to think that I do know more at least about the mentality of high school volleyball. And I'm talking more to my teammates in the sense that I'm pointing out the flaws of other teams so we can find ways to score, telling my teammates where to serve. I'm visualizing more on the other side because that's typically what a captain kind of does, is work calling plays and just providing advice for how our hitters can really get it done. So I kind of took a back seat freshman year, but the job's still the same, but my mentality is different, and I've certainly grown as a player since then.
I can add to that too. You know, we're really fortunate that the seniors we have are in the positions where they naturally need to be the leaders. You know, essentially Katie's like our middle linebacker that's like running the defense as a libero. You know, because we want her to take as many balls as she can, but also kind of direct who's going to take the balls when she can't. And she does a great job of that, being really vocal. So when the ball's first over the net, that's her show to kind of like set up the defense and get the ball to our setter. And we've got two senior setters. So then once the ball's over there, they're the kind of quarterbacks of the offense. What are they going to do with the ball? So having seniors in both those positions, I think gives us a huge advantage.
Yeah, the chemistry.
Because everyone else's job is a little more narrow. Super important. Everyone's got to do their job.
They're
but
scoring. We can't win without them.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a question for both of you. If you could describe GL volleyball with one word, what would it be?
Oof.
That's cool.
Oh, you're supposed to give us those questions in advance.
You want to go first? I got one.
Oh, you go first then.
Love. Very cliche, I'm aware.
It's all right. It's all right. Working on the fly. It's okay.
It's because of the way we play our best and the electricity that's there when we're just going and we're not thinking about anything else. And all we have to thank is each other, and we're pushing each other. And once we come to realize that, we are our strongest selves easily. And it's honestly taken us off the court too. We're all friends. We all get along off the court. We love each other.
I like it. So I'll pick intensity because I think the two meld well together. And you got the love to support each other when we make mistakes, but we've got that intensity. Volleyball is a hugely intense game where you need everybody on the court, all in all the time. And I think we've got that.
We do.
Now, Katie, you just mentioned how everyone is able to hang out outside of volleyball. Mm-hmm. Because there's definitely more to a captain than just being the best player on the team or something.
Oh, yeah.
How do you try to facilitate team building? Because I know it's been touched upon multiple times that the chemistry is one of the biggest parts of this team. How do you try to help build the team chemistry?
At the end of the day, we had a good amount of returners. We all kind of knew each other from last year and how we played. So it was more getting in touch with the new players of this is how we run the show up here in varsity. And I remember the last day of tryouts, I took Abby Kim, our freshman, out to eat with us because she is, as you guys know, absolutely incredible. And we quickly took her and became one of us. And that's the thing we are one. We have to be. That's how we're going to win. And we all care enough to do that to extend ourselves to each other.
It's a great answer. I mean, it's allowing, the underclassmen definitely to step up, even though, because, the whole big seniority of most sports, being able to allow, an underclassman to step up, definitely. And this is a question for both of you guys, because I've seen both of you watch film before, but how do you utilize film? Because I feel like at this level of sports, film can get underutilized, but how do you use film, as a tool, more or less?
Well, individuals can use it a lot to just see things that you're not aware of doing, certainly. as a team, the first thing we want to see is like, what are they doing offensively? Is this a team that's dominated by one or two hitters? You know, do they run the back row a lot? You know, where are their weaknesses in terms of passing? So that's the kind of stuff that if we didn't have film, you'd just be going to a game kind of treating every team the same.
Mm-hmm. On the defensive end, nothing's guaranteed, but you can try to figure out tendencies that go on that side, who swings where, who's tipping a lot, and how we can navigate our defense even before the game, tell ourselves what to be aware of more and what to look out for, and it helps us from limiting mistakes, or we limit our mistakes much more when we kind of have an idea of where they're going.
I have a question about like those tendencies that you were talking about. For like when you get into the game, like is it easy to make adjustments in volleyball, like on the fly, like in a huddle or anything? Or I don't really know how it works, but is it like anything like change, or do you gotta kind of just stick with the plan from the first point to the last?
You can make adjustments if a team is consistently doing the same thing. I mean, for example, what makes Westfield so tough is they can do everything.
Precisely.
And they're going to see where you're leaving them a little bit of extra space, and that's where they're going to go. So, but they're really unusual. Most teams are really comfortable with certain things, and if you can either through film or just on the court realize, oh, you know, they're not hitting the line, they're doing a lot of tipping, everything is hard cross court, whatever. If you can figure out what their tendencies are, then you can stack your defense that way a little bit, and give them the opportunity. You're like, oh, we're going to leave that open for you. Let's see if you can hit it now. And if they start hitting it, okay, we'll shift back.
Okay.
We also like to think in threes, for example. Like, if I'm having a really tough serve-receive day and this server is just great, she's knocking it out of the park, I will talk to my outsides and I'll say, hey, like, move in and cover me a little bit. This is tough. But that's like a casual adjustment that we'll tweak maybe once and then not go back to it, just to get ourselves out of the rotation and back in system, ready for momentum.
This is a question for Mr. Hess. So I've noticed when the other team is serving, I've noticed your front line is always moving around. Is that to mess up the other team?
No, that's, you know, like gym class volleyball, like everybody has to rotate around the court.
Yeah.
But we don't want people to play wherever the rotation takes them. Everyone has an assigned role. So, you know, your right side hitter will want to be on the right side, and your outside hitter, you want to be on the left side. So basically, they're lined up initially to fit that old-fashioned rotating in a circle, but they're getting as close as they can to where we want them to go without overlapping, and that just changes as people rotate around. I mean, sometimes in rotation you're naturally where you want to be, other times you're kind of far away from where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, unless you guys got.
I got one more question.
All right, there we go.
Favorite moment from the season or just in general in the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, Katie, you're a senior. You probably got a lot. So.
Yeah.
I do have a good amount. Can say, selfishly, speaking strictly for me, was when I dove into the bleachers last year to get a ball into play. During our game against Raritan in our state semifinals, I got it back into play, and it's one of those, like, Hail Mary plays. No one thinks it's going to happen, but I'm just going to go for it, and we'll see what happens. And that was easily, like, if I had to pick one singular play I'll never forget, it was definitely that one. And quite honestly, I know you guys talked about it earlier, but the conga line, another very core memory. I know the whole team really loved it, and our little mosh pit after the end.
Especially when Mr. S jumped into
that was great.
That was electric.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of volleyball, it's the Summit game. I'll never forget that comeback. But I think even more special is going to be the crowd involvement we've gotten this year. You know, we've had good teams in the past, and we've had good supporters, but we've never seen anything like this. It's just so fun to see all these hyper-enthusiastic students out there. They're just thoroughly enjoying the game, because it is great. Hopefully it's the beginning of something that's just going to be part of GL volleyball and culture, but it's exciting to be there at the beginning of it.
Yeah, we know.
Certainly awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah. I wish I knew about volleyball more, and wish I came to games earlier than just my senior year, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have made it special, so we appreciate it.
You really have. Thank you, guys.
All right.
I think that's everything. I think we asked everything.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Good luck today. I mean,
Good luck.
Thank you.
We will all be there.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll be
go
back in
GL.
black. Oh yeah, go GL.
Oh,
This is In the Zone. Thank you for joining us. We're your hosts once again, Ryan,
Charlie.
Jonathan.
joined with Katie and Mr. Hess, and thank you. Have a nice one.